Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kisha. For those of you who are new here, I blog every day at kjaggers.com. The link to my blog is below. I hope you're having a beautiful and blessed weekend. I am back with a birthday book haul. Now, you know, I kind of broke up my birthday hauls. One thing I did forget to mention in the last birthday haul where I shared the purse and the clothes is I also got a Nike gift certificate or a shoe gift certificate. It's not a Nike one, but just a shoe gift certificate so I can go get some new Nikes or Reeboks, whatever I want. And I'll be doing that in the coming days. So I forgot to mention that, and that was from my husband. And my sister's painting me some pictures. My mom's painting on the cruise that we're taking. And I really wanted some books. So Scott was asking, what do I want? And I wanted some, you know, new books. And, you know, I'm still somebody who loves just an old-fashioned book with pages. Now, I do like the Kindle for, like, vacation. I actually have the Kindle app on my phone just in case I want to read an ebook while I'm in the car with Scott or something. But it tends to wear down my battery pretty quick. Or is one of the things that will wear down my battery. I also like audiobooks, and sometimes I will listen to an audiobook while I'm trying to fall asleep at night, or when I'm doing something, you know, involving my hands, where I just want some sound. An audiobook is great. But again, I am an old-fashioned pen and paper girl and old-fashioned book girl. I like the real books, and I know they take up some clutter. I know that you have to be picky about which books you know, keep in your house because they can stack up. But I have here I have 6 new books to share with you. Now, I'd love it if you guys read along. I'm going to be sharing what I'm reading. And I would love it if you guys read along. Now, there's a book that don't, you know, seem interesting to you. Definitely, you know, don't follow along if you don't want. These are my picks. They're not going to suit everybody. The first book I'm going to talk about is something I saw on YouTube. Now, Hillary from Our Farmhouse Life did a book review on this. I will link her video below. It is the life-changing magic of tidying up, the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. That's who it's by. You know, I butcher names, so you can pause it and write it down if it's something, you know, that interests you. Now, this is an interesting book. I've already started to read it, and you know, her way is quite drastic. It's very drastic. It's in a way that she says that none of her clients have ever, like, fallen back onto, you know, being a disorganized mess because her practices are, in fact, that drastic. And I actually applied some of her teachings in my last and latest day in the life video, where you see that I went through all of the clothes, and I went through all of mine and Scott's clothes, and I did a major overhaul of our closets, and that is one of the suggestions she has in her book. It's not by room. It is organizing by item, and like, you'll do all your books at one time, or you'll do all your clothes at one time, or you'll do all of your dishes at one time, and that you really, you know, need to pick up the item and make sure, you know, you really love it and you want it. Some of it I find a little bit far-fetched so far, but some of it I really like. So I am reading this, and by the end of the month, I'm going to come back and do a book review for you guys. It won't take that long. I just didn't want to read ahead too fast before I had a chance, you know, to share it with you guys. And this was a #1 New York Times bestseller. Over 2 million copies have been sold. It says on the back, despite constant efforts to declutter your home, do papers still accumulate like snowdrifts and clothes piled up like a tangled mess of noodles? Japanese cleaning consultant Marie Kondo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, takes tidying to a whole new level, promising if you properly simplify and organize your home once, you'll never have to do it again. Most methods advocate a room-by-room or little-by-little approach, which doom you to pick away at your piles of stuff forever. The KonMari method, with its revolutionary category-by-category system, leads to lasting results. In fact, none of Kondo's clients have lapsed, and she still has a 3-month-long waiting list with a detailed guidance for determining Which items in your house spark joy and which don't? This international bestseller featuring Tokyo's newest life phenomenon will help you clear your clutter and enjoy the unique magic of a tidy home and calm, motivated mindset it can inspire. So if you want to read along, definitely do that. You can hashtag KJaggers on Instagram and let me see that you're reading it too. I'm pretty sure you can probably find it at your local library. Of course, I haven't tried, but most books you can. And I have really enjoyed it so far. So interesting, very interesting. That is my first book. And of course, Jennifer Ross has done a review. Hillary from our farmhouse and another friend of Hillary's did. It's just blowing up the internet right now. And I think all of our homes could use a little bit of tidying up. I'm a big believer that you don't have to do a lot of spring cleaning if you keep your house decluttered and cleaned on a weekly and daily basis. But even me, who believes that, has found so many things that need to be tossed out, that need to be put in a different home or in a better spot, and things that I'm holding on to for sentimental value that I've got to cut back on, and things that, do accumulate over time. My kitchen is overflowing with gadgets and pots and pans, and I'm going to apply a lot of her methods and get my house cleaned up for spring. So again, it's the life-changing magic of tidying up, the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. My first read. Now, another book that I got, this is a more marriage-inspired book. It was recommended by one of you guys, well, probably many of you guys. I don't remember exactly who. I'm terrible with names, you guys. It is The 5 Love Languages, The Secret Love That Lasts. It's another New York Times bestseller. It's by Gary Chapman. I was going to say Jerry. And I really wanted this. I like marriage books. I like anything that's going to inspire me or maybe give me a new bright idea to make my marriage better and stronger. And you guys suggested this and I bought it. So on the back it says, between busy schedules and long days, expressing love can fall by the wayside. We forget to compliment, give gifts just because, to linger in our embrace. The things that say I love you seem to either not get said or not get through. This is a book about saying it, hearing it clearly. No gimmicks, no psychoanalyzing, just learning to express love in your spouse's language. With over 10 million copies sold, The 5 Love Languages has transformed countless relationships. Its ideals are simple and conveyed with clarity and humor, making this book as practical as it is personal. You will be inspired by real-life stories and encouraged by its common-sense approach. Reading this book feels like taking a walk with a wise friend. Applying it will forever change your relationship starting today. So I was very excited to get this. And again, it's something you can probably get from your local library. You can find on Amazon. I'll probably link all of these books on Amazon on the corresponding blog post just to make it easy on you guys. I know that you guys usually like to stick to YouTube and you look in the down bar for everything. But on the blog post at kjaggers.com, and there's a little emblem now at the bottom. And there's also an info button. And maybe I'll put the by here. The info button I'm getting used to, by the way. But you can click on that and go directly to maybe the blog post or even the link below where it says KJaggers with my blog emblem in the video, not in the down bar, will take you to my blog too. And I will link all these books there so you guys can find them. And I'm going to read it just because. And, you know, it never hurts. And for a lot of women, one of my tips for getting their husbands or their spouses or their mates of any kind to read a marriage book or a relationship book is to put it in the bathroom, ladies. The men usually like books in there. I would take every other magazine or book out of the bathroom and only put the ones I want him to read in there. So it really does work. It's worked in my home and it's worked in my previous marriage. I know it has, and it's a good tip. But this is another book I'm going to be reading through spring and summer. Now, another book I got was Ruby. Now, this is one of Oprah's book club books, and I actually saw the author, Cynthia Bond, on a Super Soul Sunday broadcast on OWN with Oprah. And she was so wise, and she was so spiritual, and I was just touched by her. So, of course, I went and ordered the book, and I was really excited to get it. I'll read the back just a little bit. I'll read actually the top, which is a review. Pure magic. Every line gleams with vigor and sound and beauty. Ruby somehow manages to contain the darkness of racial conflict and cruelty to the persistence of memory, the physical darkness of the piney woods and strange elemental forces, and weld them together with bright seams of love, loyalty, friendship, laced with pretty comedies of small town lives. The stunning debut delivers and delivers and delivers. And I was just inspired to get this book by her interview. I haven't read any of this book yet. Actually, the story on the back right here in the blue says, Ephraim Jennings has never forgotten the beautiful girl with long braids running through the red dust and piney woods of Liberty, their small East Texas town. For Ruby Bell, Liberty was a place of devastating violence from which she fled to a seedy, glamorous 1950s New York. Years later, pulled back to home, 30-year-old Ruby is faced with the seething hatred of a town desperate to destroy her. Witnessing her struggle, Ephraim must choose between loyalty to her sister who raised him and the chance of a life with a woman he has loved since he was a boy. Utterly transfixing, Cynthia Bond's Ruby is a soaring novel of passion and courage. So if you guys have read this, I'd love to hear what you thought about it. You can always know, if you've read any of these books that I've already shown you, or any of the books that I'm going to be showing you, you can leave me your thoughts below. I'm not worried about spoilers with books. Not with these books anyway. It's not like I'm reading some type of murder mystery. But if you read this, I'd love to know your thoughts. I can't wait to get through it. It is a little bit larger. It's not going to be that hard of a read. It's got about 330 pages, whereas the 5 languages I love, I should have said this already, has about 188. And just in case you want to know how many pages the life-changing magic of tidying up is, it's about 206 pages. So, you know, I'm super excited. Her interview is what sparked me to read this book, and I'm sure we'll play tomorrow before the new, I think, Super Soul Sunday show, because they usually do that. They show the old one and then the new one, the one from the week previous. So you might be able to catch her story and her interview on OWN tomorrow. So I'm super excited to be reading this. She totally, like, inspired me. And that's, you know, one of the ways I find books. If I, you know, see an author on a show or on CNN or, you know, in some way you know, that I pick up on and that I enjoy listening to, I always buy their books. So the next book I got was this one I really, really wanted. It is from the editors are Martha Stewart Living Clean Slate, a cookbook and a guide. And that is the truth. It says, reset your health, detox your body, and feel your best. Now, if you guys watched the last day in the life vlog, you know that, you know, I got a little bit off schedule on the treadmill, and, you know, I bought a bunch of junk food a little while ago. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to eat junk food, but I'm trying to make a more conscious effort to eat a little bit better. And on the back here, I'll read this so in case you're interested. More than just a cookbook, Clean Slate from the editors of Martha Stewart Living provides you with the nutritionally sound information you need to shop for and prepare food that nourishes your body and mind. You'll find guidelines for restocking your pantry with whole grains, beans, and lean proteins, healthy fats, glossaries of the best sources of detoxifiers, antioxidants, and other health-boosting nutrients, and menus for a simple 3-day cleanse with easy-to-follow tips and strategies for staying on track. Now, I know this is not written by Martha Stewart herself, but her editors are fabulous anyway. And, you know, they all work together. And what I like, again, this is not just a cookbook, but however, it does have some, you know, amazing dishes, amazing photographs, and some really nice recipes. In the beginning of the book, there's tons of other information. And it explains how to use the book. And then it's got a bunch of golden rules. And I will read them to you real quick. Golden rule number 1, choose whole foods over processed. Rule number 2, embrace a plant-based diet. Rule number 3, practice mindful eating. Rule number 4, engage in an active lifestyle. Rule number 5, make sure you get enough fiber. Rule number 6, boost energy with lean protein. Rule 7, pay attention to how you feel. Rule 8, remember how to stay hydrated. Rule 9, establish a smart meal planning habit. Rule 10, know what you're buying. And the last one, golden rule number 11, maintain a healthy perspective. So, you know, there's a lot of things in this book, and I can't wait to go through it. This will be in my kitchen forever. Now, you know, I know a lot of people do not like to buy books anymore. They can find recipes online. They can get the, you know, the e-version, if you will. And for me, there's nothing like a real book. And I'm super happy. This one I really wanted. And this one is around $26. I just wanted to tell you, I think it's the most expensive book out of all the ones I got. And I'm super excited to read it. So, and try some of the recipes, you know, beautifully illustrated like I just showed you. And, you know, the first part of the book is more getting on track and different things to learn. And then the middle and back part of the book are the recipes. So I'm really excited for that one. And I'll be sharing some recipes on, you know, the What's Cooking videos. And maybe I'll be sharing some in standalone videos. If you like that, let me know in the comments. But I think it will be really nice going through that book. Now, the next book I got was Anne Morrow Lindbergh's Gift from the Sea. This is a very small read, about 120 pages. And I'm not going to read the inspo. It's a lot to read. There's nothing really on the back except her beautiful picture. It says that in this book, you know, she goes to the beach, and I haven't read any of it, but I've read the outside, and I've read a review. That she goes to the beach, and she comes away, you know, with some different understandings for both men and women for their lives. And, you know, she talks about gadgets that are supposed to save us time, but really don't. About, you know, life's everyday demands. And I heard that this was just an amazing book from a friend, and I got it. So, you know, this one and maybe the 5 love languages will be for May, maybe. I don't know. Well, yeah, for May. I already said I'll have a video up at the end of April for this one. So maybe May will be these 2, maybe. And the culinary clean slate cookbook and guide, you know, popping in here and there. But I'll do a better in-depth review on that at a different time. And maybe these will be for May. And then in June, maybe we'll get to Ruby. Okay, so the last book that I got, and I know not every one of you guys are going to relate to this book or even want to read this book, but some of you guys with children and even some of you guys who have adults with this in your life, this might be a good read for you. Now, this was recommended by a beautiful subscriber who left me a comment on my YouTube video telling me about, you know, her hearing this, and she thought about us, Jackson and myself, and she told me about this book, and I couldn't find it. So I commented back and asked her to please help me find it, and she did. This is the Daniel G. Amen, Healing ADHD, the through formula or program that allows you to see and heal the 7 types of ADD. So, you know, I'm kind of ashamed to admit that even though my son Jackson, who is 12 years old now, suffers from ADD, I have never really put in the research or, you know, the time to really figure out ADD. I went off of what the doctors told me and told me what medications and different things that I should be doing with him. And I don't think I'm going to be taking him off the medications anytime soon because I see such a phenomenal difference in his behavior, in his grades, in his concentration, even in stuff like his manners. So I think it's been very beneficial, but I still want to see, you know, what other things out there really affect ADD or ADHD. And I thought that since she suggested it and she thought about us, I thought it was a book I should get. I actually held up this birthday book haul waiting on this book to come in. I wanted to share it with you guys because, you know, I know some of you guys are dealing with children with ADD or ADHD. I know for a lot of you guys, it's embarrassing to even talk about. I don't feel that way. I feel like Jackson's story might help one of you guys. Jackson's not embarrassed that he takes a medication every day to help him focus better in school. It's never been like a stigma in our family. And, you know, if I have migraines, it's not a stigma that I have to inject myself. It's a medical condition. And, you know, I really want to find some other treatments such as diet, and even my oldest daughter talked about red food dye. Now, my doctor never explained red food dye. It's been a long time since I've had a baby, and, you know, with my first son, he had some issues, and I had no help. There was no type of counseling. There was no type of doctor that would help, you know, back in the early 90s. So it was just insane on trying to deal with that. And then as we move on into times, I have a daughter. She seems to be fine besides a little bit mouthy, but she's 13 years old and she's my daughter. But I have another 12-year-old son who really does have ADD. And I've listened to the doctors mainly. I trust doctors. I always have. And, you know, I've trusted them, and the medication has made a huge difference. So when I got this book, it's one of the books that I do want to go ahead and start jumping into. Now, I know I'm going to be reading this, and we're going to be talking about the life-changing magic of tidying up, the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. But I'm also going to be reading this a little bit on and off, and I'm going to jump right in. Now, it explains the seven different types of ADD. I didn't really know it. I think Jackson actually is ADHD, but it says the type 1 classic ADD, the type 2, the inattentive ADD, the type 3, the over-focused ADD, the type 4, the temporal lobe ADD, the type 5, the limbic ADD, type 6, the ring of fire ADD, and the type 7, the anxious ADD. Now, I'm not sure which one my son really fits in. I think he would be the over-focused mainly, but I mean, he's quite a few all wrapped up in one. And hopefully this book will help me figure out how to help him a little better. You know, it's hard. It's hard with babysitters, and sometimes it's hard with his father, because children with ADD or ADHD, you know, can be hyper and can be challenging. And plus, mine's a picky eater, and, you know, a lot of people don't have the patience. So, you know, I'm hoping that this book will be a little bit of a guide. I'm not going to, like, take him off the medication. I can't do that because I've saw the difference. But maybe in time we can reduce it, or, you know, find some other methods such as diet, or, you know, limiting sugar, which I try to do, and some different things maybe I will learn in this book. And I'm sure this is only the first out of many other ADD or ADHD books I'm going to be reading, because if it helps my children, I should be a little more vigilant about, you know, figuring out what they're actually going through. And I have just taken the doctor's word, which I think is great, because I trust Jackson's doctor. I like him a lot. Jackson likes him a lot. but I think I'm going to do some research on my own. And of course, there's tons of research online, but I wanted, you know, that book, and you can't get that book, you know, I mean, I could have ordered an ebook, but you can't really get the details of what that book is sharing, you know, online unless you buy the ebook. And I would prefer, like I said, to have real books, books that I love and books that I really enjoy. Okay, so I got a couple more books to talk about. I'm so sorry this video is long. I love reading. It's been a while since I've had some good books in my hand, but I want to talk about 2 other books real quick. The last book I read was To Heaven and Back by Mary C. Neal. I think I showed this in a haul. Maybe I shared it on Instagram. Don't really remember. It's a really good book. I'm going to be doing a review on my blog, and I'm going to actually send this off to a friend, but you know, if you guys are looking for a book that is, you know, about the other side and about, you know, someone's life and death experience, this is a good book. So definitely check that out. But I loved it. But I am going to be doing a review, and you can check that out on my blog. I'll let you know in a day in a life video when that's up. Another book that I read, and this one I have the cover off of, and it's kind of a mess, is As Always, Julia. This is a Julia Child book. It's the letters between Julia Child and one of her best friends / pen pals, Avis DeVoto. I found this book so charming, and I actually took it in the bathtub. See the pages? Look, see how thick they are? I found this so charming. I love reading other people's correspondence. I guess it's just the nosy person in me. And I really thought that this was an amazing book. And it says, here's what it says. It says, Julia is known around the world by her first name alone. But how much do we really know about the inner Julia Child? Through this riveting correspondence between Julia and Avis DeVoto, her pen pal and literary mentor, we hear Julia's deepest thoughts and feelings and witness to the blossomings of unique and lifelong friendship. We see the turbulent creation of one of the world's most influential cookbooks ever written. Frank, broady, funny, exuberant, these astonishing letters show an America on the verge of political, social, and gastronomic transformation, and the 2 women deeply engaged in making that of the new world. So I've loved this book, and I have a book here, and I have an extra one. You guys know what this is for? This is for you. So I am hosting a giveaway. This is the book I'm giving away. I'm giving back the paperback. And here's mine. And this is for one of you guys. Now, I know not everybody is a fan of Julia Child. If you're not, don't enter. But this book is so sweet. And you can just see, like, you can see how it starts, you know, with each letter. And it's just an amazing book. And I found it so personal. And there definitely is a little comedian, definitely, in Julia Child. I have, like, all the Julia Child books, cookbooks, and, like, biographies, and, you know, My Life in France, and a whole bunch. My Life in France is another really good book. But I thought I would share this with one of you guys. So if you want to get to know Julia Child a little bit more, or, you know, you just are interested in reading the correspondence back and forth between 2 very successful, smart, funny women, this is a great book. So it's open to everyone. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. I can mail it. And you have to go to my blog to get entered. Use the Rafflecopter system. You do not have to have a Facebook account. It makes it easier, but your email works just fine. I got to be able to get a hold of the winner. And I will have this giveaway end at the end of the month. So I'll put the date on the blog post at the end of, no. Let's do at the end of the month. Where are we at? What is the date? Today is the 28th, so we can't do it at the end of the week. Let's figure it out. So I can tell you guys, let's see, calendar. I still can't use my fancy phone. I never use the calendar on here. Let me see if I can even find it. Okay, so let's have it go on for 2 weeks, and that means back on, and I think this is when the inkwell ends too, but let's have this giveaway end. What do you guys want? Do you want a week? You want 2 weeks? Let's have it end on the 3rd. Let's do 1 week on this. So whoever gets it can read it. It's a pretty substantial book, coming in around 402 pages. So it's a good read. It's going to take up a little bit of your time, and it's for you guys. Again, I love it. I'm sharing it. It's one of my favorite books. And if you hung around and watched this entire video with me, it's for you to enter. That's why I'm not putting giveaway up in the title very much anymore, because I really want people who watch my videos, who read my blog, who follow me on Instagram to get entered. I don't want somebody just to see giveaway in the title and go to my blog to enter. So this is for you guys. And if you've read this, you can always leave your thoughts and comments in the comments below. And if you have any comments about any of the books that I shared, I'd love to hear from you. So again, here is my my spring and summer reading list for now. And also be sure to go back, get entered in the giveaway. We're going to have it up for 1 week. We decided that right here on camera together. And I really appreciate you stopping by and watching. If you enjoyed this video, please take a second and give me a thumbs up. In the comments below, you can leave whatever you want, but I'd love to know what your favorite read in the past month has been, or what you'd look forward to reading in the future, or if any of these books that I shared with you, speak to you in some way. I would love to hear from you. So this is kind of like, Kisha's book club. And I would love for you guys to follow along with the life-changing magic of tidying up, the Japanese art of decluttering and organizing. This is the one I'm in. This is the one that we're going to be talking about at the end of April. And then in May, I suppose we'll be getting into these two. And then, of course, the ADHD book and the cookbook we'll be into periodically. And then I think in June, I'll be reading Ruby. And if I start reading really fast, I'll have to switch everything up. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Check out my blog if you want to find the links on where to find these books. Even this one, As Always, Julia, I will put in that blog post. And To Heaven and Back. And Kirsten, if you're watching, I will be sending this to you. If she sends it back, which she usually does, she's more prompt than I am, maybe I'll do a giveaway on this one. Or maybe I'll just buy another one and do a giveaway. But I will have a review up very soon on this book. So thanks again for watching, you guys. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow with a new What's Cooking video. And I know all of you guys enjoy that. And I will see you tomorrow with that video. Bye.